What if the person you were meant to spend your life with was someone you already loved decades earlier and simply had to find your way back to? Marie Osmond lived through heartbreak, loss, and two very different marriages before discovering something most people never get the chance to experience: a genuine second chance at first love. Her story proves that timing, growth, and forgiveness can bring people back together in the most unexpected way. Marie Osmond became famous as a teenager, performing alongside her family and later starring in a popular variety show with her brother Donnie. At only 22 years old, she married a man named Stephen Craig, someone she had actually first met as a teenager. Within less than a year, they welcomed a son together. But building a marriage while also managing a demanding career proved incredibly difficult. The pressure eventually became too much, and the couple divorced after just a few years together. Marie later admitted that period was terrifying. She suddenly found herself a single mother, unsure how she would even pay rent or take care of her child, which pushed her to throw herself back into work completely. A year after that divorce, she met and married music producer Brian Blosel. Their marriage lasted over 20 years, and together they raised 8 children, some biological and some adopted. On the surface, it looked like a stable, long-lasting partnership. But privately, Marie struggled deeply with postpartum depression, something she later spoke about publicly to help other mothers going through the same silent battle. The couple briefly separated during that difficult period before attempting to rebuild their relationship. Tragically, years later, the family also endured the devastating loss of their son Michael, who took his own life as a teenager. It was one of the hardest experiences Marie has ever faced. Eventually, after more than 2 decades of marriage, she and Brian made the difficult decision to divorce, describing their split as respectful and free of blame on either side. At this point, most people would understand if Marie simply decided love was too complicated and painful to pursue again. But here is where her story becomes genuinely encouraging. Years after her very first marriage had ended, she quietly reconnected with her first husband, Stephen Craig. They began speaking again privately, keeping their rekindled relationship completely secret, even from their own children, because Marie did not want anyone to get hurt again if things did not work out. But things did work out. After secretly dating for 2 years, Marie and Stephen made an incredible decision. 26 years after their original divorce, they got married again, this time in a private ceremony. Marie even wore the exact same wedding dress from their very first wedding decades earlier. She later explained that part of their decision was tied to their son's own upcoming wedding, and the couple wanted to attend as a united family. But beyond that practical reason, something deeper had clearly changed between them. Marie has said that remarrying Stephen taught her something valuable about love the second time around. She realized that many things she once thought were incredibly important simply were not, and she learned to appreciate the qualities that truly mattered: kindness, patience, and genuine friendship. She has openly called him her best friend, someone who makes her laugh and who she genuinely enjoys spending quiet, ordinary time with, rather than needing constant excitement to feel connected. What makes this story so meaningful is that it did not happen because everything in her life was perfect. It happened after real heartbreak, real loss, and real personal growth on both sides. Marie did not force reconciliation or rush back into an old relationship out of fear of being alone. She waited decades, lived an entire other chapter of her life, and only returned to Stephen once both of them had genuinely grown into better versions of themselves. Her journey is a powerful reminder that love does not always follow a straight line. Sometimes people drift apart, grow through painful experiences separately, and then find their way back together stronger than before. It teaches that forgiveness, patience, and personal growth matter far more than getting everything right on the very first try. And for anyone who has ever wondered if a lost connection could genuinely be worth revisiting later in life, Marie Osmond's story offers real, encouraging proof that sometimes it absolutely can be.